Punjab operates in its own culinary weight class. While other regions lean on delicate broths or light vegetable stir-fries, the kitchens here produce some of the most calorie-dense, intensely flavored dishes on the planet. This regional profile is built on three relentless elements: blazing hot tandoor ovens, aggressive masalas, and a massive reliance on dairy fat. This richness creates a physical limit for any traveler. Visitors frequently find their appetites exhausted after just a few meals because the body struggles to process the volume of fats and heavy proteins. You face a daily choice between deep, historically authentic culinary immersion and universally loved comfort food. Success in Punjab depends on how you budget your limited digestive real estate. To navigate this menu, we need to categorize these dishes based on traveler risk tolerance and specific taste profiles. Your itinerary begins with this branch. Whether you are hunting for unfamiliar cuts of meat or looking for reliable comfort, your path through the region is defined by your willingness to experiment. We are going to strip away the hype and objectively score these categories, allowing you to build a meal plan that matches your specific profile. We start with Category 1, the Heritage Extremes. These dishes carry direct Mughal influences and deliver the most complex, historically accurate flavor profiles in the region. These recipes demand constant attention, using pre-modern cooking methods where laborers tend metal pots over active ground coals to prioritize slow-cooked depth over speed. That process is necessary for the ingredients involved: slow-cooked goat brains, gizzards, livers, and dozens of cartilaginous goat trotters known as mutton paya. Simmering these joints and organs for hours extracts massive amounts of marrow and collagen. The result is a dense, oily stew with meat that becomes incredibly soft and flavorful. To evaluate the physical impact of these dishes, we can plot them on our scorecard. We rank the Heritage Extremes with a high fat content driven by ghee, a medium-high spice level, and a low psychological accessibility score of 3 out of 10. You gain unmatched historical flavor and extreme tenderness, but you pay for it with rapid palate fatigue. Finishing a bowl requires a very strong stomach. Category 2 covers the heavyweight classics. These are the globally recognized staples that dominate modern Indian restaurant menus. These dishes emerged from the 1950s. Facing intense resource scarcity after partition, Punjabi migrants salvaged leftover tandoori meats by developing a rich, buttery gravy. That necessity created butter chicken, which now sits alongside stuffed Amritsari kulchas and giant family-sized naan. A single order of these breads delivers a vast volume of refined carbohydrates. The dough is forcefully kneaded, folded with ghee, and slapped into a traditional clay oven until it becomes a massive serving. These classics rely on heavy cream and commercial butter to ensure a sweet, universally appealing taste. In Punjab, a dish is often considered incomplete unless the meat is swimming in dairy fat. When we add these to our scorecard, the digestive trade-off becomes clear. The fat content hits the absolute extreme, while the spice is muted by the cream. This earns it a high 9 out of 10 for accessibility. You receive guaranteed comfort and immediate satisfaction, but the caloric load will likely induce a food coma, ending your ability to eat for the rest of the day. Finally, we have Category 3, the late-night fusion. These street foods are optimized for post-midnight dining and chaotic nightlife. The tandoor techniques used by these night vendors trace their roots back over 5,000 years to the ruins of the ancient Indus Valley civilization. Modern cooks apply that ancient heat to external influences. They take the concept of meat grilled on Turkish swords to create Sikh kebabs, and wrap spicy marinades around Tibetan dumplings for tandoori momos. The aggressive high-heat coals lock in moisture while creating the signature smoky char on the exterior of these proteins. Do not be deceived by their size. Items like soya chop and minced meat keema naan look like small snacks, but they are densely packed with heavy marinades and rich meats. Adding the final category to the matrix reveals a different set of priorities. The fat levels are more moderate, but the spice level is high. This lands the accessibility at a 7 out of 10. You gain access to smoky, high-protein flavors, but you must accept digesting heavily spiced, dense meats immediately before you sleep. We can now synthesize this data into a single tool for your trip, the Punjab Palate Matrix. We plot the physical load on the y-axis and the psychological safety of the dish on the x-axis. Heavyweight classics like butter chicken and giant naan anchor the top left quadrant. They are safe but incredibly heavy. On the opposite end, the heritage extremes like mutton paya and goat brains occupy the top right. They are both adventurous and dense. Late-night fusion items land in the center right, bringing a moderate digestive punch with slightly more adventurous flavors. Looking at the board, the bottom half is almost entirely empty. There are very few truly light snacks in this cuisine, which makes planning your daily intake absolutely mandatory. Here are your strict operational prescriptions. For the culinary purist seeking authentic history, live in the top right quadrant. Order the organ meats, but avoid heavy carbohydrates in the same 24-hour window. Stacking rich fats with massive breads will end your trip early. For the cautious beginner who wants guaranteed flavor payouts, anchor your trip in the top left quadrant. Order the butter chicken, but share the massive portions with your travel partners to delay hitting your physical limit. For the night owl prioritizing late-night street food, focus entirely on the tandoor-based center quadrant. Treat these deceptive late-night bites as full, heavy meals rather than snacks. Respect the sheer density of this cuisine. The best way to experience Punjab is not through eating volume, but through intelligent, categorized curation.